used to teach at a local university, and she would sometimes take me with her. Honestly, I was there for the snacks, but it was a pretty cool experience to get to see her teaching students inside a college classroom. But my desire to teach didn't really come till after I graduated with my bachelor's in accounting. What happened was I enrolled myself to a review center so that I could prepare for the CPA board exams. And there I met this very inspiring individual that made me want to become a teacher just like him. He would often go inside the classroom with just a pen in his hand or maybe nothing. And then he would just casually start telling funny stories or maybe inspirational and sometimes tragic stories. But at the end of every story, he would relate all of it to his lesson for the day. And he would take the most complicated concepts and turn it into this organized, simplified version that you could easily understand. And because of that, I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to help students understand a very complicated topic and turn it into something simple that they could actually use. So after I passed the board exam, I got my first job as a CPA, and I lasted an entire day. At the end of the day, I had to tell my boss, I'm sorry, this is not for me, and I won't be back tomorrow. And after that awkward encounter, I decided to apply at the university I graduated from to become an accounting teacher. I feel very blessed because I was actually one of two people that they hired out of 200 applicants. And I haven't looked back since. I have been a teacher on and off since 2011 in different fields. I just love being a teacher. I feel like being a teacher, because of all of my experiences, my educational philosophy is simple. I think that the four corners of a classroom should be used more than just teaching students academics. A teacher is always be a teacher is also there to teach students thrive and be resilient and teach them values that they could use well after they graduate. And they may not remember all of the things they learn in the classroom, but they'll be able to take some parts of the values that I teach them with them for the rest of their lives. And being a teacher has different perks, and one of the perks is to develop relationship and connectedness with your students and staff. I recently started teaching as a special ed teacher, and it's just so special. I just love my students so much, and I just feel like there's a different connection in my heart. It makes me so happy when I get to see them and I get to connect with them. And also my classroom paraprofessionals just made my experience as a teacher a whole lot of different, because they're so supportive, they're team players, and we just built this community of being able to be excited to go to work every day and help change the lives of our students. And because of this, I feel whole. I feel like I am in the classroom with a purpose, and this is where God wants me to be. I believe that teaching is a calling because it is not easy. It is not easy being a teacher. There's so many things to do. Your work is never ending. But because of that, you also feel the fulfillment of it at the end of the day. And I feel like you only get that if teaching is your calling. Because otherwise, you'd be complaining, you feel like you're overworked, and you cannot wait to get out of the classroom. For people who feel that way, I feel like they should find another career, because it's not only themselves that's suffering, but it's also their students, because it creates a different atmosphere. It also creates a ripple effect for the students, because the atmosphere is not pleasant, and they also don't want to be there because they feel that you also don't want to be there. So I'm not gonna lie, even if you love what you do, you can't deny the fact that sometimes you just want to give up. That's why it's so important to use your previous experiences to become resilient, so that you can push through all the hardships. I remember when I was in university, I it was hard. It was really hard. I was part of a very competitive program. It was a 5-year program where all your classes were set even during the summer. We were taking 29 to 30 units per semester. So I was at school from 7 in the morning till 9 p.m. at night, from Monday through Saturday. And not to mention, I had to deal with public transportation, which was very unreliable in the Philippines. And I did not own a personal computer, which was very important in, I guess, success. But I survived. One thing that kept me going is just focusing on my blessings. I know that this is hard, but I always see that this is temporary and it's gonna end one day, and I'm gonna reap the benefits of all my hard work. And I also counted my blessings, because I know whatever I'm going through, there are some people who are going through worse than me. I just value that I am able to get my education while other people cannot. And as a teacher, you need this resiliency in order for you to survive, because I really want to work for a special ed classroom for the long run. And in a special ed classroom, there's so many different personalities. There's so many behavior issues that you need to deal with. And there is no such thing as a typical day in that sort of classroom. But you just need to roll with the punches. You need to deal with the behaviors as they arise. You need to deal with certain issues as they come up. Because if not, you would just be distracted, and you would lose heart for what you're doing, because the lesson plan that you worked hard for would not always be followed, which is sometimes disheartening, but you just need to roll with the punches. And I feel like that would help me in the classroom. I think my personality and my passion would help me thrive as a teacher instead of just surviving, because I'm always open to new ideas and experiences, and I love to learn. And I definitely know that I cannot please everyone. And also, my faith would help me get through the most difficult times that I would encounter, because I know that God wants me to be here. I know that this is His purpose for my life. I feel it in my heart. And I always, dealing with different types of people and personalities, I always see the good in them. And I would often ask myself, if God is here, how would He deal with this situation? So that really helps me a lot, and I take it day by day. Well, I hope you enjoy listening, and Thank you.